Why didn't Supreme Kai stop Frieza and rid the universe of his wicked family before the events of Dragon Ball Z? What held him back from doing so, and would things have been better off if he did? Well, let's get into that now. But first, make sure to like this video and subscribe, as well as enabling all notifications, so that you could stay up to date with all of my future videos. Now, there are a number of possible reasons for why Shin didn't kill Frieza before the events of Goku's life, with the first one being that he didn't see Frieza or his empire as a true universal threat. Frieza was a tyrant who desired to rule over everything, rather than destroy it. He would only destroy planets as a power play to make people fear him, much like Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars, or in the case of Planet Vegeta, to eliminate the perceived threat of the Saiyans. Or I guess a purple cat told him to do it. Despite being more powerful than the majority of Universe 7, Frieza's power was still nothing compared to the Supreme Kai's, which was specifically told to us by Shin when he boasted about all of them being able to one-shot Frieza. And we saw this power demonstrated during the Buu Saga itself, when Shin was able to totally immobilize Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Then later on, he put up an even better fight against Buu than Gohan did. He even saved Gohan from Buu's Ki Blast while he was at it. And yet, people often downplay Supreme Kai's power because of how he acted when encountering Pui Pui and Yakan. However, when we actually look at his strength, we can tell that he would have easily defeated both of them himself. His main fear was actually the Saiyans taking their fights too loosely and allowing Majin Buu to be revived, which is exactly what ended up happening. So compared to Buu, Frieza wasn't anything that Shin feared. Although maybe if he knew that Frieza could train for 4 months and make Buu look like nothing by comparison, he would have rethought this position. But aside from a pure power perspective, it's possible that Shin looked at it from a more geopolitical standpoint. Perhaps he realized that by intervening and killing Frieza, he would be destabilizing the largest government in the universe, which would in turn lead to widespread chaos and multiple factions scrambling for power, much like what happens in real life, which is honestly something that I wish Dragon Ball Z delved further into, considering how this was bound to happen after Goku beat Frieza. But the most that we got was in Resurrection F, with the Frieza Force struggling to maintain order years later. Another thing to consider is Frieza's relationship with Beerus. No, not that kind of relationship. As it was explained in Battle of Gods, Beerus told Frieza to destroy Planet Vegeta before going to sleep for 39 years. As a result, he may have been under Beerus' protection and acting as a proxy god of destruction for the time being. It's also possible that Beerus told Shin that he would destroy Frieza someday, maybe even after waking up from his next nap, so it's entirely likely that he thought Beerus had it under control. But either way, the issue was resolved without their involvement. Hooray for doing nothing. Their neutral Jing must be really high right now. Another point worth mentioning is what Gaosu said in the Goku Black arc, that Supreme Kais aren't supposed to interfere in mortal affairs, which was a main contributing factor to Zamasu's fall from grace. However, nothing like this is ever said in Dragon Ball Z, and it's directly contradicted by Supreme Kai's own actions when he gathered the Z Fighters in an attempt to stop Buu's resurrection. And then later on in the Tournament to Power, we're also told that the universes with the highest mortal levels had greater input and guidance from their gods. But Super was also written many years later with minor input from Toriyama. And finally, the out-of-universe answer is that Supreme Kai simply didn't exist in Toriyama's mind until he created him in the Buu Saga. Before that time, the highest god was said to be King Kai. It was only after this in the anime's Otherworld Tournament and the Buu Saga in the manga that we were introduced to the other Kais and concepts like Grand Kai, Supreme Kai, and Grand Supreme Kai. Ultimately, Toriyama is a discovery writer who learns of things pretty much as the audience does. So this leads to recurring questions and continuity issues like this. But maybe some of these points that I've given you in this video will give you a better in-universe idea of why this never happened, or at least give you some more headcanon to consider. Make sure to subscribe and enable all notifications so you can stay up to date with all of my videos. Thanks for watching, and make sure to stick around because there's a lot more to come in the future.
Yeah, and you better subscribe.